Hello, everyone. A very good morning from this side. We are live, and then we are going to go right into it. Today, we are going to do social media, but then I want to go to the studio and talk to my students first, and then we'll come to you, our viewers. So, my students, how are you doing this morning? Would you want to use the microphone? How are you doing? Tell me how the week was. Maybe you want to share something on what we studied and how you did something about it in school this week. Shortly, yes.
I learned to abstain a little bit from social media to help with my studies.
Okay.
Okay, so this week was our midterm exam, so we need to learn and prepare.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like this week because when we finished our midterm exams, we had Thursday and Friday for a holiday and a midterm break. So I didn't really.
Good to know.
This week was very nice and interactive because I had the 2 days to relax.
Awesome.
Okay, so from my side, last week we talked about social media, and from Monday to Wednesday, I was able to prevent myself from going online, and because of the exams we are writing.
Okay. Miracle, do you want to talk? Okay, so you're okay. That's fine. Today we are going to go straight into balancing social media and then real life. That's what we'll be doing today. So please, we want to not describe or define what social media is today, because we already did that last week. And we learned about the effects, the good, the bad. But then today we want to deal with the real effects of social media. So if you are having so much social media exposure, what is it going to do to you? What are going to be the effects of social media on you as a teen? So that's what we are doing today. And we want our students to help us with 2 or 3 points as to what they think are the effects of social media on their lives as students or as teens. Okay.
Okay, so for me, social media can lead to adhesive addiction on the individual who is using it, because you always want to see new content on social media. You are not always satisfied. You always want to know more of what is going on in the world.
Yeah. Okay. So who else?
So it brings down your learning as a student.
Brings down your learning as a student. So meaning that the more you are online watching videos, reels, and then all the photos you are seeing online and liking them, as you are getting addicted, the effects it gets on you is what? That your retentive memory is even low. So in class, you don't do so well like you used to do. That's what Miracle is telling us.
It
So,
makes you
Michael,
lazy.
It makes you lazy.
Yeah.
Because you spend all the energy online, then when it's time to study, the energy is so low. Okay, Nana.
It can make some people have anger issues.
Anger issues. Wow, would you want to explain that to us?
Okay, so most people stay indoors watching their phone, like they don't really come out to have a feel of their real life. So when they move out and then they begin to meet people, with every little mistake or every little offense someone does to him or her, then the person begins to get angry because he or she does not have that relationship with others that much.
Okay, that's perfect. So Michael and then Chum will come in.
Okay, so lack of sleep because you will be like I am watching small. Then by you realize it is one in the at done. So you won't get enough or sufficient sleep.
Yes. So effect of social media is what we are talking about. All we are saying is too much social media is harmful to you as a human being and as a teen as well. And Chum is telling us this morning that it will make your sleep less, like you don't have enough rest. So please put the phone down when it's time to sleep. Okay, Michael.
It makes you learn unnecessary things.
Okay, so it makes you learn unnecessary things because there's so much content to consume online. and you might end up consuming the wrong things. So once you go to our scripture, Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1, which says there's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Okay, so some are going through their content. The Ecclesiastes is in the Old Testament after Proverbs. So just check and then you go. So there's a time for everything is what the scripture is telling us. If there's a time for everything, it means indeed there's a time to do social media and there's a time to what? Be by your books. So we are going to find the right balance. What do you think will be the right balance? What must you do to not do so much of social media? How are you able to balance? How do you do this rightly? Because the scripture is telling us that there's a time for everything. I'm sure we all got here at this time because we knew this was time for the smart teens, right? Yes. And then anytime you are with your phone, you know that this is the time I'm supposed to maybe call mom and dad because I've closed from school. Or that this is the time I'm supposed to call Amma, Kofi because I'm supposed to go out with them. But then when it comes to social media, how do you get the right balance? So Nana would help us.
So in order to balance social media with your real life, you have to have a schedule.
Okay, a schedule.
Okay, so as for me, I would like to deliberate on what he said. In order to balance social media with your real life, you must have like your own personal timetable because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So you learn small, play small, watch some small videos, and then come back to learn.
Yeah.
Okay, so me, what I have is like counseling.
Counseling. As in, when you don't want to do so much of social media, when you want to find the balance, you seek counseling.
Yes.
Okay. Would you want to explain?
Oh, okay, so I can go to my elder brother, and then my elder brother will teach me what he did, and how he got to the place here. So right now, my elder brother, he's a doctor.
Okay. Okay. So what Miracle is saying is, anytime you want to find the real balance between social media and real life, you have to what? Go to those ahead of us who have made it. You ask them, please, how did you make it? Were you doing so much of social media? How many hours were you spending online? How many hours were you spending on your books? So that's what he meant by counseling.
Support from parents.
Support from parents. So parents, please, we are pleading. Anytime we are home, we want you to also what? Pay attention to us. Don't give us the tablets when we must spend time with you. We are really pleading with you. Also, there are other things parents can do to help us. I spoke about YouTube for kids last week, right? Yes. So as parents, anytime you give your child a tablet or a phone and you download the YouTube for kids, what you can do is you can curate the settings in a way that the child is not allowed to watch just any content. You can limit the kind of content that what the children watch. You can do it yourself too. You can set time or time limits and then put passwords on some. Someone is laughing. Okay. We'll ask if you all agree to this or not. Because this is the only way what we can help each other. With the settings, it will help the parents know that, no, this is what you are watching at this very point in time, and then he can just come and say, no, bring the phone. This is not good content for you. But if you don't allow the parents to come in and do this, then what happens? There's no balance between what? Social media and then your real life. Because everything is online. Everything is online. You start acting like those online. I know a child that he's always on his tablet. He's I think 2 or 3 years. And because of this, he can't really speak. Yes. That's like so much of social media. So with such a child, the only way a parent can help is to what? Take the tablets from that child and engage the child, or let him or her have more interactions with what? People. So these are some of the ways that what we can have a real balance between what? Social media and then our real life. And then I think last week we also mentioned about going to the library to read. So you should have what? personal reading, even group readings as well with your friends. Not just going to the library because, oh, we said go to the library, no social media. No, that is not what we are talking about. Going to the library because you want to have personal interactions with people whilst you are what? Studying. What else do you think you can do to have a real balance between life? Okay, Gabby.
Have self-discipline.
Okay, self-discipline.
In the sense that before you expect to have discipline in social media, you have to first have discipline in real life. In everything you do, you should know that you have boundaries, you have limits, and you have says in everything you do. So you know that as for me, when mommy says don't go here, and mommy says your curfew is 8 o'clock, by 8 o'clock you should be at home. As for you, by 7:30 you are in the house. So you should have self-discipline before you expect to train yourself for social media.
Yes. Okay, Nana.
Okay, so I think that in order to use the social media in a good way, maybe you are someone who loves cars and you want to know more about cars. When you get the phone or the device, instead of going to watch shorts and funny videos, you can search something about cars, and within that short period, by the time you realize, you've done something which will help you now or maybe in the future.
So even with the effects we are talking about, it can be a good or a bad effect. And Nana just spoke about a good effect. Imagine I'm always going online, not spending 3 hours, but then I'm spending just 30 minutes learning about models, car models. If I go in a meeting and they're talking about cars, I can talk. Why? Because I've read about car models. But then if I'm just online watching silly videos, I'll end up becoming lazy. I'll end up not being so smart in class because all I do is watch videos that do not teach me anything. So those are some of the effects. Michael, you wanted to come in?
And I think app restrictions can also help.
Yes. So you all need that on your tablets and your phones, so that anytime you are overdoing it, the app will tell you, please, it's time to sleep or it's time to go offline. So I have this tablet, and then anytime I give it to the kids at home, there's a password on the app they are using. If they do 30 minutes, it will lock them out. So it will not even remind you because they are kids. A child doesn't know when enough is enough. All they know is, I want to finish this, and they'll keep going on and on. But then with the app restriction and then the password, it locks the kids out. And they cannot log back in because there's a password on it. You, the mother, or you, the elderly person, will have to now come and say, okay, let me key in the password for you to continue. But if you think the child has had enough of social media, you don't open it for them. Okay? Okay, Chum.
So, from my side, I think parents must seize the phone for like sometimes. So like you can give the phone to the child like 4 to maybe 6. Then from 6 going, it is learning throughout. That too can help.
Okay. So there's another scripture, 1 Corinthians 6:12. It says, I have the right to do anything, but I will not be mastered by anything. So you have the right to go online and watch videos. You have the right to go and study online with your phones or tablets. But then you will not be mastered by anything. So you don't want the social media to become the master of you. And the tree version says, but so imagine, because I've given you a bowl of rice, let's say it's a lot, you can't finish it. But because I've given you the bowl of rice, you want to consume everything, even when you are feeling uneasy. What will happen to you after eating everything? You will surely vomit. So are you saying that because social media is available to you, you're supposed to abuse it? No. So that is what we want to tell ourselves, that yes, social media is good, social media is equally bad, but we don't want to abuse social media. We want to use it in moderation. So we want God to teach us to number our days, which leads us to another scripture. in Psalm 90 verse 12 says, teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. So that anytime we are doing anything that is out of God's will as teens, we know that no, God, we know this has been enough. Let's now concentrate on reading our Bibles. Maybe you have the hard copy as well. You say, oh, I want to read the soft copy. You know that when you go to your phone, you surely not read the Bible on the phone. And you see, because of AI and all those things, now when you take your phone, the very thing you visit a lot, that is what pops up. So imagine anytime you wake up, you go on WhatsApp. Anytime you wake up, early morning, you don't even say your morning prayers. You don't have your quiet time. Then you just go on WhatsApp. The phone will keep reminding you to what? Go on WhatsApp. So as a habit, what do we want to do? We want to always take our phones, open what? Our Bibles first. Or take our hard copy Bibles and begin to read before we even take our phones. Why? Because everything we do now becomes what? A part of us. Everything you do now becomes what?
A part of us.
Everything we do now becomes what?
A part of us.
Okay, so those watching us, this has been the Smart Teens. We are studying how to balance social media and then real life. And we are also looking at other ways of what? Limiting too much of social media. So we'll go back into the studio. I have my kids who are ready to share more. So, Michael.
Please, you should be mindful of the social media you are using. Before you use that social media, you need to understand, like, what it is all about, the do's and don'ts, before you know how to use it.
Are you referring to the app, as in the particular platform?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are also being told to do what? Be particular about the particular platform we are on. So if it's Instagram, if it's TikTok, if it's Smart. The other time, Gabi mentioned another one. He says what? Phoenix. And then there was the one for the syllabus, which has more past questions and a lot of study guides for students. But then if you go on Play Store and you see the syllabus and you see TikTok, which one will you download? Which one will you download? I need honest answers.
Okay, so it will depend on the urgency of maybe what I need. So maybe I went there to download Syllabus GH.
Okay.
And we are in a very busy period, maybe in school. And it's very imperative that I download it to use it for whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
For that part, I'll make sure that I finish with whatever I have to do on the Syllabus GH, download it. And when I'm done, and I feel like using the TikTok, I download it later.
Okay, Mike.
For me, the probability for me to download TikTok is high.
Great.
Because maybe the Syllabus GH, the megabytes we used to download is high. But the TikTok, maybe you have 12 megabytes to download. Then the Syllabus GH, maybe 23.
You're weighing the megabytes.
Yeah, for me.
You see, he's weighing the megabytes, so he's not weighing what he will get after downloading TikTok and what he's going to get after downloading the Syllabus GH. Okay.
Okay, so for me, I would download the TikTok with the mindset that maybe one of my friends has also downloaded the Syllabus GH. So when I go to school, I'll just go and refer, and then I'll just continue after that.
Okay. Chu, you want to add up? No, I'm asking everyone, no, which one are you downloading? So this one, then you can't say no. Yes.
Okay, as for me, I'll download the TikTok.
Hey, so TikTok, 1, 2, 3, 4 people are going to download TikTok. And then even one person is not so sure which one. It says depending on the urgency or what he or she needs.
And then maybe if I have TikTok on my phone already, the app on my phone already, then I'll download this Syllabus GH.
Okay.
And for me, honestly, I won't lie.
Honestly, don't lie.
I will download the TikTok.
Okay, it's fine. I like the honesty. So you see, it's social media is so addictive. Even without having access to TikTok, you've already heard a lot about TikTok, right? Yes. So you want to download the TikTok because you are anxious to know what is there. That is why you would download TikTok and not the Syllabus GH. But then this is what I want to urge all of us to do. The other time we spoke about peer pressure and how our friends equally have what? An impact in our lives. So you want to first check the group of friends you work or move with. What are the things they really talk about? What are the kind of discussions they have with you? Because mind you, if they are social media addicts, all you hear is social media. All you hear is and not everything you see on social media is real. Not everything you see on social media is real. People put in a lot of work to make things look beautiful because they want to convince you. But you have to what? Choose wisely. That's why we read the scripture, to help us number our days. Using what? Wisdom. So that we are not slain or taken away by what? The schemes of the evil one. Another thing you have to do is to be intentional. The other time we spoke about being intentional. Decide, I am not going to download TikTok. Why? Because I am in class 6 and I want to also write BEC and pass. I don't want to be addicted to TikTok so much so that I won't be able to study. So it's about being intentional. It's about what? Being intentional. And then deciding the kind of people you'll be moving with, the kind of conversations you want to be having with them. It is very essential. Because once you are moving with the wrong clique, it says bad company corrupts what? Good morals. So who do you want to be identified with? Do you want to sit with the scornful? Do you want to sit or stand with those who are walking in the way of God? As our theme says, do you want to be seen as someone who doesn't really care what his life or her life becomes? No, I'm not sure that's what we want for ourselves. So social media, that's why we have the good parts and then the bad parts. Take the good parts. Download the educative ones. Don't go and download TikTok because you hardly find educational content on TikTok. I said you what? Hardly. I'm not saying it's not there, but then you hardly. And then note that with social media, there's one thing that we are all not taking note of. Anytime I go on social media and I like a particular post, I will keep seeing more of such content. Or once you spend more than even 2-3 seconds on a post, you will keep seeing it. So imagine you go and watch the wrong thing. In a day, you'll be seeing like 1,000 of that. But if I go there and I go and search for how to prepare, maybe in school, you were given an assignment. They said, prepare your favorite meal. And your favorite meal is ampesi and what's garden next to you. And then you go online, you type how to prepare ampesi. You will find lots of content that has to do with that. Is that not educational? Won't you be able to do your homework? But does that mean that after watching that very content, you have to go on and on with that content again? So what are some of the things that, as at now, you personally, you mention your name, I am going to do this. I am going to do this so that I don't do too much of social media. I am going to do this. That's what we are going to do. And then we'll wrap up. Okay, Nana.
So I have a lot of storybooks at home. So me, Nana Denchi, I'm going to read a lot of books from now on.
Great. Miracle.
So I'm going to set boundaries for myself.
Mention your name and be confident and say it.
Okay, Miracle.
Intentionality. Yes.
Miracle. Also, I'm going to set boundaries for myself
Yes.
so that I'll abstain myself from too much of social media.
Great. Chum.
I'm not ready.
Okay, Kobe. So, I, Kwamna in Chibeko, say, I am going to set limits on social media so that I can prevent myself from getting too addicted to it.
Okay, Michael.
Michael Enchi. I can't avoid, but I'll control how to use social media so that I can focus on my studies. But being sincere, I can't avoid, but I can control.
So, if you know you can't avoid, that is from your side. But then, who would you say, oh, please, keep an eye on me? Is it going to be your friend? Is it going to be your mom, your dad? Who? Your sibling? You should add that. Because we are not leaving you with, no, I'm not sure, I'm not sure. You do it at all
For
costs.
me, I am the only child of my mother.
Okay.
So I'll let my mother check on me.
Great. So mom will do that for you. Mommy, I hope you can hear us. And you are seeing Michael too. He says that he wants you to check on him and make sure he doesn't do too much of social media.
Okay, so me too. I will try to delete some of the TikTok and the
Okay.
Facebook from
You
my
try.
device. I will.
Okay. Gabby.
Hi, Gabriela. Well, I will now deviate from storybooks to textbooks.
Okay. Are you saying you not do more storybooks now, but then you be doing
Yes,
textbooks?
textbooks now.
Okay. So you don't have social media. You are not addicted to social media.
My storybook is on my phone.
Yeah. So I think you're not tempted.
So what I'm saying is that now
Mhm.
instead of reading the book on
On
my
your-
phone,
Okay,
I'll
you
rather
read the
read my
Okay, the hard
textbooks.
copy. That's fine. So I'm glad to know that we are all going to be intentional about what we do on our phones, intentional about the platforms we download or the social media applications we download. We are going to be what? You are going to be what? You are going to be what? If you are not intentional, then every other thing doesn't work out because it starts with what? Intentionality. And then we can now move on to the other things. So now I'm saying that I want to do just 1 hour of social media. This is what I do. Anytime I'm going to work or I'm in a public transport, I decide not to take my phone and chat. It's something I have decided I will never do. So once I'm in the car, the phone is in my bag. I'm not touching it. Why? We spoke about the effects of too much social media. You begin to feel dizzy. And then it drains you. You feel very weak and you think you are feeling sick. You even look like hunger. Social media takes a lot of energy from you that you don't know of. But before you know, hey, you have become so weak. Like very weak. So that is what Mary, I have decided what not to do. So anytime I'm in a public transport, I put my phone in the bag. Said no, I won't open the phone because this is what it does to me. At least I've seen the effect I have from social media. You also know the effect you have. For you're not able to study. It prevents you from studying so much. And so you have decided that you would not to do so much of the online reading, but then you decide to read more of the textbooks. So that's another way to go. So we want to now list the things that we have said here so that anyone who couldn't take notes will take notes with us. So we want to list the things you are saying can help you not to do so much social media and help you keep a balance. We want to list them
Please,
one at a time so that those online can also now write it down.
please, can I ask a question?
Okay.
Okay, so we at school we learned about browsers, which is Google and the other
yeah.
things. And when you are looking on, like when you are watching TikTok too, they said you can browse on WhatsApp, which is WhatsApp is also a social media. So what's the difference between browsers and social media?
So with the browser, it's more like search engines. You go there to search for anything you want. You can type any question, whatever you're looking for. So I can even go on Google or Chrome and I'll type TikTok login. Once I click on it, they'll let me know that visit your Play Store to download what? TikTok. But that doesn't mean you can what? Download the TikTok as well as browse TikTok. No. With Facebook, previously, I don't know now, even if I don't have the app, I could just use a browser. I just click on someone's link that they shared with me and I can watch what is happening. Like the way we are live now. Someone without Facebook can just click on the link and watch with the browser. Someone can equally have the app and also watch on the app. And there are other applications that they are web applications. So you don't need to download the app before you use it. I could name some, but you might not know about it. But an example is an SMS platform I know about. If I go online, I just type sms.wiggle.com.gh. I don't have to download it on my phone. I can do all the browsing online. I can send SMS, I can send whatever I want to send, but it's on the browser. So those ones save you from what? Plenty data. Especially those who were, you were the one complaining about the 224 megabytes and all that. So with such apps that you can use browsers, you can just click on the browser through the link and then you are gone. You wouldn't need to download. But then there are some for TikTok, I doubt. Because so far, anytime I send a link to people on WhatsApp telling them that, oh, go and watch this video on TikTok, they tell me they don't have the app, so they are not allowed to watch. So I think it depends on how the engineers curated the particular app for it to be either what? A web-based application or what? A downloaded application. Is that one clear with all of us? Okay. So I think I asked the question before he asked his question. So let's answer my own.
Okay, so one point is everything we do now becomes a part of us.
Great. So let's take note. Everything we do now becomes a part of us. That is our point one. And so because of that, what? We want to balance our life from social media into real life. We don't want to do anything haphazardly because everything we do becomes what? A part of us. Again, okay, let him finish with the point.
I also learned that to balance our life, our real life with social media, we should first be intentional.
Great. So you should be intentional.
Okay, I learned that like we must let our siblings or parents watch us.
Be a check
when-
on
okay.
us. Are you contributing? Okay.
I also learned that we should set boundaries.
Great. Set boundaries.
Have self-discipline.
Have self-discipline. Okay, Miracle.
Okay, counseling.
Okay, so Miracle keeps using the counseling, so that's fine. So that's also going on or following up with an elderly person who has walked the same race you want to walk or run the race you want to run, and then asking them the right thing to do and doing so. Okay, so you have a question. Let's go. Or you're okay with the question now? Okay, that's fine. So the other thing I want to add is also being intentional about what you post online. Because I'm sure some of you have WhatsApp numbers, right? And you post on your statuses. Hey. Yes or no?
Yes.
What are some of the things you have been posting?
Oh, okay, so right now, I have a post right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the post is about, like, you shouldn't compare yourself
To people.
to people, yes.
Great. Which is a good content. So as we are posting online, let's post the right thing. Even if you don't want to post, don't compare yourself with anyone. You can write what? A scripture to bless someone's life. Because some people, what they see you put out there is what they attach you also with. So if you keep posting things that has got nothing to do with the things of God, they will say that, oh, this person there, every time he's posting about this. And you see, we are what? Living epistles. People are watching you. People are watching your life. And they want to be like you. The way Miracle wanted to what? Follow his brother's footsteps into becoming a doctor too. So imagine, I'm watching you. I've not come to talk to you, but I'm watching you. I'm watching your life. I want to be like you. And then you're posting things that has got nothing to help my brain. What will happen to me? Indirectly, you have failed with me, right? Yes. So that's the power of social media. Social media is a very powerful tool. You have to what? Make good use of it. Recently, there was a challenge online. And if I tell you the number of souls that were won just because they joined an online prayer, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. With Great Commission, every year during Easter, we have this session we do where we show the Jesus movie and we send our numbers down there. People contact us. And then they tell us what? They want to give their lives to Christ. So please, let's make good use of our social media platforms. Let's post the right things. Let's take breaks when necessary. And let's be intentional. We want to look at the reflection and then discussions. So 1, how much time do you spend on social media daily? These are reflections. You want to ask yourself, how much time do I spend on social media daily? How much time will I now spend on social media daily? And I also want to ask, have you ever felt social media distracted you from important things? Ask yourself, has social media distracted you? This is a self-reflection you are having, so you don't have to answer me. You reflect on them when you are in your rooms and when you are alone. You also want to find out what strategies that can help you create a healthy balance. What are some of the strategies? Because this is a personal thing. My strategy will be different from your strategy, will be different from the teens at Dr. Wyatt's strategy, and that of Miracle. You also want to ask yourself, as Proverbs 4 verse 23 says, above all else, what? Guard your heart. For everything you do flows from what? Your heart. So once we guard our heart and our minds from things we see online. So this is a reflection from all of us. And then there's a challenge for this week. So that following week, I'll ask whoever was able to what? Do the challenge. But there's this very short thing I want to add. There's a group of sports guys I know. They are at Adenta. I don't know if anyone here loves basketball. There's no basketball fan here. Hey, you fool. Anyway, so what they do is all the boys, the girls, the teens, the teen, and then the adults that love basketball, before they come to the courts to play, there's an app called the eCampus app that they are allowed to go on. There's a number of points you're supposed to hit. If you don't hit it, you will not be allowed to play. Yes. So this is a very good example of what? Balancing what? Social media and then your real life. You get to play sports with people. You get to interact with them. You meet friends. Hello, hi, how are you doing? But then before you even do that, you are allowed to what? Study. If you don't study, you can't join them play. And it's not just about studying. There's a number of points you're supposed to hit. And there's a reward for it as well. So imagine, you say come and study and win an award. This is a very good way of getting people to be on social media as well as be in their real life and play sports that they love. Yes. So let's do this maybe in our own way. We'll find a way to also do that. So we want to go quickly to the challenge of the week, and then we'll take our questions from those at Dr. Wyatt's assembly. So you want to limit your screen time. You want to set up timers like we mentioned here. Let's all write it, please. Challenge for the week. Limit your screen time. Set up timers. You want to prioritize real-life relationships over what? Online connections. And you want to post something that adds value on your statuses, wherever you have been posting. Most of you are on Facebook. You can be posting scriptures every day. So these are the challenges we want to take up, and then next week we'll come up with the solutions, and if we were able to overcome any of that, or if we were able to do it. So some of the do's and don'ts of social media. First of all, know that everything you put out on social media is seen by all. The internet never forgets. The internet never forgets. So whatever you are putting out there, you should make sure, I don't mind putting this out there because what? I'm making an impact, because I'm helping people out there. Maybe your means of using social media is to evangelize. That should be your aim. Strictly that. And then he also asked, and that how, or the number of hours you're supposed to spend on social media. So with the number of hours you're supposed to spend on social media, it is obviously dependent on you. It is dependent on you. We spoke about knowing yourself, being intentional, and doing what works for you. I might need just an hour on social media, and I'll be good to go. You might need just 30 minutes, and you'll be good to go. You know yourself. Do you get distracted often? Do you get lazy often? If you want to do something right now, do you end up overdoing it? So know yourself, know thyself, know yourself, know thyself, know yourself, and know thyself. And please do what works for you. She's the person that asked the question. Are you avoiding, as in the Your parents, the phone. I didn't get the last one.
That should she
Let me
avoid
ask the question. Are you avoiding, as in
the phone, the
your
phone,
parents, the phone? I didn't get the last one.
the phone?
The
That
phone.
should she avoid
Ask the question. Are you avoiding use the phone for a reason? There might have been something that happened that they felt like you need a phone either so they can communicate with you. Maybe they want you to do extra studies on the phone. Maybe they feel you work so much and they want you to release stress with playing maybe a game on the phone. It will depend on why the phone was given to you in the first place. But ask yourself, you are a student, you have a target, you have an aim. You say you want to be the best in your class. Can I be the best by sticking on just my phone? Can I be the best by closing my book and sitting and watching the book?
No.
The best by just staring in the air. I'm just staring. I'm like, appear, enter. Does it work like that?
No.
No. So as you have said that you want to be the best in your class, if you are going to make good use of the phone, by what? Having the right applications on the phone. An example is the eCampus app we spoke about. You can download it. It's on Google or Play Store. We have the syllabus app you can download. You have the YouTube for kids, the educational subscription. Subscribe to those particular channels. And all these things are going to help you be the best student. So I hope this helps. To be the best, you don't become the best by playing or spending so much time on social media. That is not educational. The last question.
Annette
And then
Afun.
we'll go
I
on.
want to ask that how can you identify a fake account on social media?
You say a prayer. Ready.
A fake account on social media. How can
So
you
my name is
identify? Annette Afun. Social media.
Okay, thank you for your question. How can you identify a fake account on social media? It would take a lot to identify a fake account on social media. But let me okay, since she said social media, let me go on WhatsApp. How am I able to identify a fake account on WhatsApp? Because she didn't mention the exact platform. Previously, I don't know, even recently, you will see a lot of people's WhatsApp being hacked. This WhatsApp has been hacked. WhatsApp has come up with a lot of rules as to what to do to not let your phone be hacked. But then it looks like even though we're on social media, we are not reading the things that would make social media of good use to us. Social media is telling you to do the two-factor authentication and also make sure you put a password on your phone to avoid people hacking. But then we don't do this. And then mostly these hackers use foreign numbers. I don't want to say they start with +223 and all that because some nationals may think I'm coming at them. No. Mostly, they don't use Ghanaian numbers mostly. Previously, they used Ghanaian numbers. This is what they do. They know what you want, and so they come with what you want. Though, if you are looking for a job, maybe they know you are in your 18s and then 20s, they'll come with a long message telling you that, oh, we are offering this opportunity to young people like you. Click on this link. Click on this link. Click on that link. And then what? You also become what? A millionaire. We want shortcuts to everything. So you read this and you are excited. Have you applied to any place or have you sent a WhatsApp message to anyone asking them that you wanted a work? So when someone is texting you about work, why do you click on a link when you haven't sent any message to anyone telling them you want a job? There are different ways to know when a link is not secured. Even though sometimes these same ways of knowing, they can also get to you. Another way to know is the HTTPS. Sometimes you see the link with HTTP. Sometimes, most of the time, the S is not added. When you see such, you should run away because it means that link is not secured. Once you click on it, they'll say, Gwal or KFC is sharing free fries. Click on this, share to 1,000 people, and then you'll be sharing. That is how those people come. That is how you know that this is fake. Once you see those messages, enticing messages, telling you to do this, do that, and most of the time, so these messages, their English are very bad. They have lots of spelling errors. So you should open your eyes. You should read. Read well. Read well. You will know that no, especially the MTN fraud people. They will send you a message and you can tell that no, this brofo is not brofoing. Like, it's so bad. These are how you can know that this is a hacker, or this is a scammer, or this is a fake account, or this is a fake person trying to what? Impose or be an imposter. I hope this answer helps. Thank you, teens of Dr. Wyatt, for joining us today at the Smart Teens. We are so glad to have you. And we hope you took notes. Yeah, bye to you all. Please take notes or write down. I've said a lot of things. So we at the studios too want to sign out on the Smart Teens by quickly taking round, I think 3 or 4 people to just tell us briefly what they've taken away today, and then we'll close. Okay, so just one person. Tell us briefly what you are taking away today, and then we close. So Kobe will do that for us.
So today we've learned a lot of things, but the ones I'm taking home are that we should be intentional of the social media platforms we are indulging ourselves to. We also should seek counseling from our parents and other people who have run the ways that we want to run. And then we should also give ourselves challenges to help us, to promote us and help us to abstain from social media. No, to help us not to be more addicted to social media, because social media is a worldwide thing and you can't abstain from it. That's what I learned for today.
Great. So that's what Kobe learned. I would want to see also your lessons in the comment section on Facebook, or you can share your lessons with your friends seated beside you at home, your siblings, and share with your schoolmates when you go to school. We are signing out on the Smart Teens. It's bye for now. Bye.